It is a rare and foggy morning in South Florida. You don't see this very often here. Usually it just never happens. So it's kind of eerie, it's kind of cool, it's kind of quiet. I think I've heard one boat go out this morning. As the fog lifted and the day wore on, the wind picked up from the east. The abandoned boat nearest me broke free from its anchor and drifted west. In this instance, it missed me entirely. Some of you may be curious as to why I would just let that boat drift by and not try to stop it. If I were to board it or interfere with the anchor, I would be responsible for this boat. So in this case, I was operating under not my monkeys, not my circus. This boat has been sitting here for years from what I understand. The FWC has come by at least once and asked me and my friends if we knew who owned it. I did, however, call my friend and warn him the boat was potentially headed his way. The boat dragged all the way west into the flats where it grounded on the shore of a mangrove island. This boat will likely sit here until Fish and Wildlife Commission places a red derelict sticker on it. After that, they can haul it away and dispose of it. While I was hoping to go sailing in the last couple of days, the weather has turned cooler, the wind's from the north, and at times it's been nothing. So sailing will be not as possible as I was hoping for. So in the meantime, I'm going to swap out some solar panels that I have. So if you recall, up here, solar panels. There's 400 watts of solar sitting here right now. I'm going to ramp this up to somewhere around 640 watts. While the four 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries are charging just fine, I need a little more juice and I need to replenish those batteries a little faster. So the answer is more panels. I'm trying to walk a fine line between turning the boat into a solar farm versus quickly replenishing the batteries that I have and I plan on installing in the near future. still attached. No, no. Just wedged. It is. It's just wedged in there. Well, I just popped the solar panels out of the tray and I noticed this. That, in the stainless steel rail tray, is all salt. I literally have to back up to get all the... So there's the solar panel in the back of the boat. I'm getting in about 74 volts at the minute, and that's about half the capacity of the charge controller. I do have a spot here on the front of the boat. See that area can take another solar panel, which would be great. That'll probably give me another 24 to 30 volts, depending on the panel. Okay, well the sun is setting and I got to wrap up the project for today. I'll probably let it marinate in my brain a little bit and think about it for tomorrow. So I was able to get the panels into the rack on the back of the boat, but didn't have as much room in the width of the panel as I thought, front to back, because the stays are in the way, and the stays are a necessary bit of a sailboat. So yeah, not done yet, but one iteration closer to the right solution. So behind me, right over here, as I'm working on my solar panel, there's a canoe, and I see these guys out here very frequently. They've got two 100-watt solar panels and probably some sort of battery, I'm assuming, and a fairly small trolling motor, and they'll be out here all day long just going back and forth and having a good time with it. It's gotten a little overcast and it's raining, but they have umbrellas. They came prepared. Good on them. Without the parts to install the last solar panel and additional brackets, I moved on to installing a new water tank. I decided on placing the tank in the aft locker, where the fuel tanks had been previously. It's an optimal place for the weight and balance of the boat. The first thing was to remove this old anchor point inside the locker. I'm so glad I don't have to use these old slotted screws again. It was a fight to get them all out. My work was soon to be interrupted by another dragging boat. Okay, so here's a classic Anchorage problem. People come and put their boats in, and they leave for weeks or months and have nobody watching them, nobody checking on them, and then the boat drags when the wind picks up because they don't have a good enough anchor set up. I'll show you what I mean. So I've got a couple options. I can wait and hope that that boat misses me, which sometimes happens. I can start up the electric drive and try to navigate around it, although I think it's over top of my anchor already, so that's going to be an interesting prospect. Or three, I can let it hit me, which I'm not really a fan of. Take care of your boats. Unfortunately, I was in too much of a rush to get clear of the dragging boat to record anything, so sorry. I started the electric drive, raised the anchor, and got clear. Seeing the boat drag in my direction, a fellow sailor in the Anchorage came over to see if he could provide any assistance. As I anchored around the corner, the local towboat US brought in a cabin manager, which did not concern me until they anchored the boat upwind of me and left within 10 minutes. It's best practice to stay on the boat for a period of time to ensure that the anchor is down properly. Okay, back to it. Back to the water tank project. So as I was popping it out to sort of put the fittings in, I realized that I was about to orient in the wrong direction. There are fill holes and vent holes and outflow holes, and if you don't get them in the right spots, it'll be useless holes. Anyway, so here I go. Right, so fill in, which means I'll have to move to this side. Not the end of the world, but okay. Line out can go that way. Down here and through. Okay, cool. And this will be a vent line with a loop in it. So if the boat heels, it will not spill the water out. So after a bit of a brief break at the end of December in the year, I visited some people and popped back here and got busy. So my goal is to cross to the Caribbean sometime towards the end of January, so I hope you'll join me for that. So as a matter of fact, leave a comment below on what you'd like to see on this channel. Some people are more into how to get things done. While I'm not a guru or an expert on any of these topics, I'd be happy to share my processes with you. Additionally, I think there's probably a good amount of interest out there in seeing some different places. The Caribbean's pretty well covered, but I bet there's some places I can find that haven't been covered yet. So if you would, leave a like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. Leave your comment below, and I will see you in the next transmission.